Are you worried about the future? Or are you excited but unsure how to prepare? We are living in times of deep uncertainty. Technological breakthroughs are reshaping entire industries almost overnight. Climate change accelerates with devastating consequences. War and instability are growing even close to home. And the global geopolitical stage is more unpredictable than it has been in decades. In a world like this, having a map is no longer enough. Because by the time a map is complete, it's already outdated. What we need is a compass, something that helps us navigate complexity, anticipate change, and make better decisions. And that compass is called strategic foresight. Strategic foresight is the ability to explore possible futures and use those insights to shape strategies today. It is not about predicting what will happen. It is about preparing for what could happen and identifying actions that are robust across a range of possible futures. The idea of thinking about the future is not new. Already in ancient Greece, philosophers like Heraclitus and Plato reflected on change, time, and foresight. Heraclitus famously said, "The only constant in life is change." And that insight, more than 2,000 years old, still rings true today. But as a structured discipline, foresight emerged during the 20th century. In the aftermath of World War II, military planners in the United States began developing new ways of thinking long-term in an uncertain world. The RAND Corporation played a key role, using scenario planning to explore nuclear strategy and geopolitical risks. And in the 1970s, the oil company Shell used foresight to anticipate the oil crisis, giving them a strategic advantage when others were caught off guard. Since then, strategic foresight has evolved and spread across sectors, from government and policy to technology, innovation, and civil society. Today, it is used to build resilience in the face of a radically different tomorrow, spark innovation, and support better, future-proof decisions and strategies in a world where short-term pressures often dominate. In Sweden, we see foresight as a vital part of shaping the future, not just adapting to it. Because being future-ready isn't just a competitive advantage, it's a necessity. Strategic foresight can be described as a four-step process. To begin with, we start by observing change. So first, we have to scan the horizon. We look for signals, the emerging technologies, shifting values, surprising behaviors, the weak signals that are marginal today but could become dominant in the future. Tools like trend radars and methods like horizon scanning helps us identify weak signals and patterns of change. We collect signals individually and then bring them together, share perspectives, and connect seemingly unrelated dots until something new or unexpected begins to emerge. Secondly, we explore the futures by imagining what could happen. We use methods like scenario planning or speculative design to explore a range of futures, and not just probable ones, but also possible and preferable ones. We tell different stories about plausible futures to gain new insights and understanding of what could be. In step 3, we go back to the present to future-proof our decisions. Once we've explored futures, it is time to use the acquired insights to get better quality of the decisions and strategies in the making. This includes identifying opportunities, risks, and strategic options. Techniques like backcasting help build strategies that are resilient in the face of uncertainty. We can paint the picture of a preferable future and backcast our way to where to begin, or we will add brand new components in our strategies to create a movement towards another tomorrow. And finally, in step 4, we do what matters most. We act. We bring the future from imagination into reality. That means acting on our strategies, turning our decisions into reality, or implementing new policies and innovation processes. It also means measuring and evaluating how our foresight work is making a difference to ensure it leads to real long-term impact. Just experiencing plausible futures is nice, but the real magic happens when you take action. So, there it is. Scanning for signals, imagining futures, turning insight into strategy, and strategy into actions. But foresight is not a straight line. It is a loop triggered by the question, are we doing the right things? And with that, you reassess your insights and iterate. But foresight is not just a process, it is a mindset, and it requires more than tools. It takes courage to question assumptions, and it takes psychological safety to share bold ideas. It is also a way of training ourselves to embrace change and to rewire our naturally risk-averse brains so we're better prepared for a radically different tomorrow. If we've practiced imagining how the future could unfold, we won't be caught off guard. Instead of being overwhelmed by future shock, we'll stay balanced and ready to navigate whatever comes next. Future shock is a term coined by author and futurist Alvin Toffler in his conveniently titled book Future Shock. It is what happens when we become overwhelmed by constant, abundant change. We can become paralyzed, or even worse, so stressed out that we make rash decisions. Creating a foresight-driven organization means creating a culture where the future can be discussed openly, even when it's uncertain, uncomfortable, or unfamiliar. Because the more perspectives we include, the better we prepare. No one else will create the future for us. The future is not fixed. It is not a destination waiting to be discovered. It is something that we shape through the decisions we make today. Strategic foresight is not just about planning for the future. It is about making sure we have a future worth planning for by making better decisions today. Because in times of rapid change and deep uncertainty, shaping the future is not optional. It is essential. The future will not wait, and neither should we.